Hey folks, thank you for joining me on another episode of SPYCHO PATH. I'm your host, Caveman, and thank you so much for all your support and likes and subscribes and whatnot. And I finally have a video to help substantiate the claim that law enforcement is being taken over and infiltrated by mindsets of serial killers. They get together, they find each other out there, they get together, they gang up, and it's bad. Here's one of their seminars, and jackass there. So, again, thanks guys. One the intro first. Boom.
Actions are going to wake a sleeping giant, i.e. the American people.
What was it like being married to a police officer?
I'm super excited. It was really tough. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a different ballgame, but I had a blast, so thank you.
I got my rights to do anything I want to do. I'm a police officer.
What?
You don't have the right.
In Colorado, many law enforcement leaders say some officers are quitting and specifically citing the qualified immunity ban as one of the reasons why.
There has not been some rash of frivolous lawsuits brought. In fact, the sky hasn't fallen at all.
Mari Newman is a civil rights attorney representing the family of Elijah McClain.
If there are officers who don't want to continue to work in law enforcement because they'll be accountable for their actions, those are not officers we need.
In October 2021, about 1,000 police officers attended a private police training conference in Atlantic City. About 240 of the officers were from New Jersey. We investigated this 6-day conference hosted by a private company called Street Cop Training. The training was held after New Jersey, as well as other states, had adopted safety initiatives and reforms to reduce bias and excessive force in policing. What we found was really disturbing. Instructors taught unconstitutional policing practices, teaching officers to stop motorists without a lawful basis and to illegally prolong traffic stops. They denigrated women and racial and ethnic minorities. They promoted a warrior mentality and glorified violence. They belittled internal affairs. They dehumanized civilians. They made jokes about their genitalia and harassed members of the audience. And this training was paid for with public funds. Taxpayers paid for a training that normalized discriminatory and harassing behavior by public servants who were supposed to be held to very high standards. These kinds of attitudes and behaviors inevitably lead to violations of constitutional rights, to discrimination, and to lawsuits. And you, the taxpayers of New Jersey, pick up the tab. How did this happen? It happened because private post-academy police training in New Jersey is a free-for-all. There is virtually no oversight or regulation. As a result, companies like Street Cop can rent a room, charge officers or the departments to attend, and teach whatever they want. That has to change. This impacts all of us. Read our report.
I don't want a hero's exit. I don't want to fucking die at like 91 with hookers and cocaine around me, you know? Why wouldn't that be your goal and objective? Like I'm on vacation in Colombia, money, and these girls like are not as wealthy and they need to do things to make money.
Homicide task force order.
Serial killers are the cream of the crop. If a guy is not clever, is not skillful at killing and getting away with it, he won't remain on the street long enough to become a
If you're trying to get a little boo nanny, boom tang, whatever the hell you call it, okay? There's an approach. You don't walk up and say, "Hi, what's your name? How old are you?" Sounds like casting couch, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there is like a little bit of a finesse. You gotta be a fucking gigolo.
So many killings in one short period of time. Isn't that really unusual?
Yeah, on a scale of viciousness, we're talking about someone at the far end of the spectrum.
So many killings in one short period of time. Isn't that really unusual?
Yeah, on a
All right, so normally in my class, we open up that beer tap, and I just start spraying people with information. But today, you guys are just gonna get the tip.
I would be remiss if I didn't remind you or let you know that I have a 3-inch dick.
I'm not the one with the 1-inch dick.
There's actually people who drive around and will input into this website, hey, I just saw a fucking LV series, Pennsylvania. You know.
Murder, something like that?
Hey, you got drugs in the car? I would never do anything like that. Yeah, okay. I watched this car come off the highway, and I fucked the shit out of the female driver. She doesn't want to fuck me back, though.
It's gonna be the sneaky peek, and you all know the sneaky peek. Every guy in the room right now is like, what are you talking about? It's like when you're there, and somebody walks by you, and you're like, don't look. Like, just don't look. Okay, oh, you know what? Hold on. Hey, what's up, buddy? Fake phone call. Okay, I looked.
Understanding pain, both physically and physiologically, it's important. When we understand what it does and what purpose it serves, it's just another thing that we can harness and that we can leverage as a weapon. I like it. You know, not like, hey, will you with me later? But maybe, you know, like, maybe.
Serial killers are very much driven by their fantasies. Oftentimes they're sexual fantasies.
Next person that challenges you about how we need to keep reimagining, ask he or she, him, her, she, him, whatever the fuck you want to call people now.
From the Middle East, everything is a business, even how we get married. You ever heard of the dowry shit? You know what a dowry is? I'd like your daughter. Can I have her? 150,000, you can have her all day long. You keep her, don't bring her back. Middle Eastern folks in the class are like, dude, shut up.
Someone who can kill in a brutal way and not satisfy his urge for murder.
An extreme case, one that triggered panic, and the largest investigation in Gainesville history. One short period of time. Isn't that really unusual?
On a scale of viciousness,
we're talking about an entire
we're talking
city,
about
community,
someone
state.
at the far end of the spectrum.
Went into a frenzy.
Serial killers, by the process of killing repeatedly, become comfortable with murder. And the more comfortable they become with murder, the more grotesque, the more sadistic they get.
And whoever he is, and experts like Jamie Foxx say he is most likely a male, he is on their minds day and night. Is there a typical serial killer?
White male in his 30s, who is extraordinarily ordinary in appearance. These guys have an insatiable thirst for power, for domination, for control. They enjoy
I love
playing
what the fuck I do for a living.
God.
There's nothing else I'm good at. I love violence, I love fighting, I love shooting, and I fucking love freedom. It wasn't that long ago that we were drinking out of the skulls of our enemies. Like, you know, like, I'm gonna fucking murder this guy, then I'm gonna take his head, then I'm gonna cut his head in half, and then I'm gonna boil his skull, and then I'm gonna drink out of that skull. Fucking rad, right? I'm not sure the guy who's fucking recording you like, oh, I am not a citizen of the United States under fucking Act 12, 6. Shut the fuck up, right? About to get pepper sprayed and fucking tased. Windows broken out, motherfucker.
We don't like treating turds, right? You're like, fuck them, the ambulance can take care of them, right? And I had a problem treating, gangbangers and the people that were the pieces of shit of society, right? I had a great mentor that told me, well, Sean, guess what? That's a live tissue lab, bro. Anytime you come to one of these shitbags, absolutely do the best you can. Absolutely, because what if he gets hurt, right? Or she gets hurt, or he gets hurt, then I can perform that flawlessly because now I've had some reps in. Everybody get that? Everybody with me on that?
In the South, it's the wild, west, south, wherever. You don't believe me? Run from Georgia State Patrol. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Run from me. Somewhere along the chase becomes neither confirm or deny there's some videos out there with me doing just that.
A reserve deputy identified as Sean Paradisi working that night got spooked and sprayed the car with bullets, firing at least 5 shots into the back of the vehicle.
This guy pulls into a gas station, pops his hood up, gets out of his car. But yeah, in Jersey we don't pump our own gas. They do it. Other people do it. So kind of like right from the beginning, I was a little concerned about it.
That's your question. Small rubber band. See that rubber band? Yeah. What's
Facial expressions. That's all I want. This was just a couple of rubber bands and driving behavior. Look at his hand shaking.
Do you have an ID, sir? Okay, can I see an ID?
That's not an 18-year-old kid dressed like Jesus coming eastbound out of Trenton. It's a 75-year-old black man, a change in driving behavior, came into a gas station, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you know what? Shame on me, because I look in there and I'm like, oh, got a couple small rubber bands. And all I'm doing is asking, hey, what's up with that? Have a day where you go out, I'm gonna pull over 20 people in a row for the sole purpose of asking a series of questions and make up your own person. Something as simple as, hey, how you doing? Where you coming from? You know, hey, where you going? You're real friendly about all stuff, and just see how people answer questions. You will learn general baseline. And then when you ask somebody a question and the answers are clear, you'll be so much better at picking up on it.
In Indiana, speed limit for trucks is 65, cars is 70. There's no fucking way that any car should ever be behind the 70 if they have the ability to pass it. So when you do that, if you're coming through Indiana, I'm gonna fucking stop your ass. Like, he has the whole left lane to pass his fucking sign, but he's gonna sit right behind it. It makes zero sense. It's not logical.
We've all seen the videos of Kenny Williams with him sitting in the driver's seat. Fingers stuck in the computer, really just playing Tetris, not doing anything. And he's asking them very simple questions in the midst of, you know, his investigation. Oh, so who's that in the car again? Oh, where'd you guys say you're going? You going for a long time? I have family out that way. Making up a story and trying to engage them in a casual conversation.
Number of men who could probably fit that category. So how does this help you in your investigation?
I think that it could be construed as maybe an educated guess, but a well-educated guess, which is maybe far and above what the average officer does as far as serial killings are concerned.
Do you fear as a law enforcement officer that you're going to see more of these?
I think there'll be a lot more.
I'm afraid that these actions are going to wake a sleeping giant, i.e. the American people, okay? They are going to be put in a position where they won't have their rights trampled anymore.
We get kicked in the dick one too many times, when we get in trouble by IA, when we lose our motivation and inspiration. I harped a lot on all the negativity. How many times I got kicked in the dick because they didn't want me to go out there and hit a trap, and they didn't want to hit money, they didn't want to hit me kilo. I hit 15 kilos, I hit 300,000. I'm still getting yelled at. I'm still getting yelled at.
Somebody with some kind of fucking thing on their shoulders or neck collar or fucking whatever. Say, hey, we watched your body cam videos. We don't think you got a voluntary consent. Yeah, here's 7 pieces of case law, fuckhead. Stop trying to bag the 19-year-old dispatcher. Get a fucking life.
Why you doing that? Because I'm a police officer. They changed that law. It's illegal for you to video record and audio record me right now without my consent.
I don't need your consent. I posted a warning on the door, then you just read a warning right there.
I did read a warning on the door. There's no warning on the door outside your door.
Look it right there.
No, that's not a warning.
Yeah, it is.
And still, you still need my, regardless of you having that warning, you still need my consent in order to video and audio record me.
Okay. Obviously, I don't.
Somebody with some kind of fucking thing on their shoulders or neck collar or fucking whatever. Say, hey, we watched your body cam videos. We don't think you got a voluntary consent. Yeah, here's 7 pieces of case law, fuckhead. Stop trying to bag the 19-year-old dispatcher. Get a fucking life.
I think there'll be a lot more people that we classify as serial killers in the years to come.
Does that scare you?
Yeah. Yes. I think there'll be a lot more people that we classify as serial killers in the years to come.
Does that scare you?
Yeah. Yes.
We show up, especially when we're new, hammering out fucking tickets like they're going out of style. I don't care, bro, speed's the speed, I'm saving your life. Shut the fuck up. Saving your life. We don't like to write, this is the fucking fun shit, like you see that shit on like Facebook. We don't like to write tickets, but we do because we care about your loved one. Here's a crash car. Yeah, and then every fucking friend of yours who you work with does 106 and a 50, and you stop and go, on a job. Have a good one, right?
I know a lot of you have been waiting for us to give a statement regarding a report that came out last week from the New Jersey State Office of the Comptroller regarding the 2021 Street Cop Conference. So I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to tell our side of the story and what really happened here. Over the past week, a number of media stories have come out related to a report by the New Jersey State Office of the Comptroller, which cast a negative light on street cop training and the content of our training sessions. Guys, we tried to work cooperatively with the OSC in this report, but that was not part of the agency's agenda. They wanted nothing to do with it. I want to start by saying I personally take responsibility and apologize for any inappropriate or offensive language that was used by a few of our instructors in the 2021 training session that was the sole focus of this OSC report. We do important work, and there is no place for demeaning, harassing, or hateful words or jokes in our training. Since that time, we have worked as a company to implement quality control measures to foster a cooperative environment among our instructors and professional staff here at this office. We don't want that type of incident ever happening again, similar in any way to the October 2021 conference, to reoccur. In addition, like many other companies, we conduct DEI and sensitivity training for our instructors. We are confident that our remedial measures have been successful, as there have been no complaints, zero, or any allegations of any kind of improper conduct or comments made in any program since. The men and women that work alongside and for street cop training are inclusive, dynamic, passionate, and empathetic, and they're the best human beings I've ever known in my life. Any other misinterpretation of them is completely misleading. The OSC report also gives the perception that our training reports are promoted unconstitutional police and not one, and that is simply not true. No video, slide, or reference has been presented, nor we heard that we can illustrate as a matter of suggestion or any police officer, any violation of a record they were able to attend and receive training on understanding and abiding by the United States Constitution, how to stop human trafficking, rescuing kidnapped children, and generally overall saving lives, just to name a few. But strategically, none of that was mentioned in the OSC report. I want all of you to know that there are two sides to any story, and there is certainly one here. Lastly, I want to express that while we were painted as the bad guys, we are in fact the good guys. We're better, more well-trained police officers from the country that expects the best from their men and women. And everybody in this profession knows that. Last thing I want to say is,
I'm glad that we had the footage to give you.
Phone calls reminding us of how important the work is that we do and what we've done for you in the profession. You all have a very difficult job out there. But this country appreciates their men and women in work. Okay. And so for that, I thank you on behalf of everybody, my family, my friends, for going out and doing a job
footage to give you
that in modern times sometimes seems very difficult or impossible. But just know that we appreciate it. Thank you.
Serial killers, by the process of killing repeatedly, become comfortable with murder. And the more comfortable they become with murder, the more grotesque, the more sadistic they get.
There have been news minds day and night. Is there a typical serial killer?
White male in his 30s, who is extraordinarily ordinary in appearance. These guys have an insatiable thirst for power, for domination, for control. They enjoy playing God and deciding who will live and who will die.
I mean, there are any number of men who could probably fit that category. So how does this help you in your investigation?
I think that it could be construed as maybe an educated guess, but a well-educated guess, which is maybe far and above what the average officer does as far as serial killings are concerned.
Do you fear as a law enforcement officer that you're going to see more of these?
I think there'll be a lot more people that we classify as serial killers in the years to come.
Does that scare you?
I like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something with it. But they say that white boys don't know how to spit it. Oh. Yeah, they're the nightmares walking, the new psychopaths talking. They're the king of the streets, the new gangsters stalking, living like the firecracker. Quick as the fuse, they'll have your ass hemmed up, handcuffed and missing a shoe. This blue line gang, they got their own map. The public's in the maze, they're the ones hiding the trap house. Gonna burn this place down with the batarang smoke bombs. Wait, they got the wrong house. Run, run when you hear them sirens, cause you know you gotta deal with a bunch of tyrants. All we want was our voice to be heard. Instead we lined up with the chalk on the curb. That's that blue line gang. Ooh.